Alderman.
I'm wonderful, and how you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's good to talk to you. How's everything in the Ninth Ward right now?
Well, things are looking up, but we still have challenges, and we're going to continue to keep up the good fight in order to make our streets safer and make our education system better and bring more jobs into the community. Because as you just mentioned, everything that your intro really leads up to the social ills of our community. And until we really start addressing all those social ills, we're going to continue to have challenges.
Well, you absolutely right about that. We also like to introduce two strong black women. First of all, from the foundation of Kids Off the Block, we have Diane Latiker and her daughter, Aisha Latiker.
Hi, Russell.
Hey, welcome to African Diaspora Today. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you for inviting us here.
No problem, Diane. How about you, Aisha? How you doing over there?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, well, Alderman Beale, we'd like to get your take on Diane's organization, Kids Off the Block. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Well, no doubt about it. I actually have been with Diane since the very beginning of her organization.
Yes,
we helped launch her organization a few years back. Diane came into my office, and she had a passion and a desire to help our youth. She told me that her house was basically a community center, and all the kids were coming into her house, and she was providing a safe haven. So we've been working very closely with her to figure out how we can broaden her vision and what she's trying to do, and not only that, but also give her house back to her husband.
That sounds familiar.
Alderman Bill, this is
Diane will tell you every single day, I need my house back. My husband is telling me, but they've really opened up their arms and their house to the youth of the community, and we're trying to work with her to really broaden her vision and give her an opportunity to really branch out and have a bigger impact on more kids in the area. So we've helped get her some funding,
yes,
and that's helping her, get things going. And we're going to help her next year break ground on a basketball court right across the street from her organization, similar to, the small community basketball hoops that they put up. And she's going to have total access to it. And, so we're just trying to help her do things and really broaden her vision and what she's trying to accomplish in the community. And it's a great partnership to have somebody like Diane.
All right now, Alderman Bill.
Yes,
Diane would like to say
hi,
something.
Alderman Bill. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Diane.
And I just wanted to say thank you so much. And I wanted to say, too, that we have an alderman who is a strong leader in our community, yes, and I'm so grateful that we are with him and that he is a partner, because he has the same vision that we all have in our community, and that's to make Roseland better.
Amen. Mm-hmm. Amen to that. We'd like to turn to Lori Westerfield, our political analyst and associate producer for African Diaspora Today. She has a question for you, Alderman Bill.
All right.
Good afternoon, Alderman. How are you this afternoon?
Good, and yourself?
Wonderful. Thanks for joining us. And congratulations on being appointed to the chair in police and fire. And I would add that it's a wonderful appointment for you, but obviously we don't like to see you on TV as much as we do, because oftentimes you're up standing up, making announcements that do have to do with the violence that's happening in our community. And obviously we want more Dianes. We want more stories like
yes,
Diane, and her daughter Aisha is here. So I would like to, can you give us a sense of where you think the effectiveness is, or tell us about the number of Dianes you have in your community, people coming into your office, as opposed to some of the, we hear about some of the national innovation programs, people coming in trying to do programs, and not knocking these organizations, whether it be the YWAC, the YMCA, some of the more nationally organizations that are in our communities doing work, as opposed to grassroots people like Diane and her family that are in there in the trenches who know the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we have to do is understand that when the national organizations come in, they may come in with more resources, but they don't have the desire and the passion like your Dianes have, who are going to have a direct impact and can talk directly and relate to the people out here on the street.
Definitely. It's pretty clear it's only one Diane.
Exactly, and that's where Diane and her uniqueness comes in. She's able to relate and talk directly to these kids and not sometimes talk down to them. So that's where the national organizations, they may come in and, yeah, they have the big dollars and they have the big organizations, but they don't have the direct connect to the community. So what we're trying to do right now is, now that we were successful in getting the new Walmart in the community, we have a large community center that is going to be part of that development. And so we're going to bring Diane's organization into that fold and help her be able to touch more kids. Now, we're not going to abandon what she's doing on 116th Street, but what we're going to do is she's going to have a presence on 116th, and she's going to have a presence in the new 170,000 square foot community center we're going to be building. So we're going to help Diane grow, and we're going to get more Diane likes in the community who have that same vision and passion. And if we can duplicate what she's doing, maybe we can duplicate it throughout all the communities in the city of Chicago.
You should see the smile on her face right now, her and her daughter. We actually like to turn to Diane and ask you, why did you start Kids Off the Block? What motivated, you to do something so extraordinary in your community?
What motivated me is that I have 8 kids of my own, 4 boys and 4 girls.
Oh,
Aisha
okay.
was the last one at home.
Wow.
And her friends were terrorizing the block. And me and my mother would plant flowers and grass, and they would tear it down, not being mean.
Wait, this little girl?
Yeah, little girl.
What?
And they didn't mean to do it. And when my mother saw it, and she said, "Darren, won't you do something with it?" By the way, my mother's my mentor. She's my rock.
Same here. Pearlie Norman, hello.
Hello, Ruth Jackson, Evangelist Ruth Jackson. And but anyway, she said, "Why don't you do something with those kids? They like you and respect you." I said, "No." Because I only had one left. I thought I was going to be free in 5 years.
Did she say something like, "Baby, go out there and get them kids off the block"? was that how it sounded?
No, that's not how my mother's like, "Diane, they like you need to do something."
Right.
So I prayed for 3 days, and then I went out there and asked them on July 15th, if I started something in the house, would you all come?
July 15th when?
2003.
2003.
Yes,
now,
sir.
something that's very visible, and when your organization was visible to me first, I noticed the shrine you have for all the kids that died in Chicago or Chicago public school kids. I think you said you now have 201 stones.
210 now.
210. I think that changed from the last time I asked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're actually still behind.
166.
Yes, and we actually built the memorial over 5 times trying to expand it, but it's every time we expand the memorial, it grows.
Aisha Latiker, tell us about your perspective growing up as a youth in this community and having such an extraordinary mom, and you trying to also carry out her vision of helping kids get off the block.
When she first started, remind you, I was 13 years old, so it was kind of hard to see why she wanted to bring all these kids into the house. And I don't know, being the baby, I was kind of jealous. I'm like, no, this is my mom, and I want her to do this for me. And it's like she was helping them because I had 2 parents at home. I had what I needed to have as far as a support system. So I had to realize that they needed her more than me. And it's like once I got involved, I started wanting to meet Alderman Anthony Beale. I wanted to start going to the meetings with him and being involved as her daughter. And I say about the age of 16, I realized this is what I wanted to do. I am now a mentor at Finger High School. I am a youth organizer for the Road Safety Networks Coalition and a youth advisor for Kids Off the Block.
And how old are you?
I just made 20.
Wow. Hey, she doing big stuff.